Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. I actually wasn't planning on filming anything today. However, I feel a little behind the curve, but I finally did a much needed update to my Creative Cloud studio, so my Lightroom and my Photoshop. Everybody's been complaining that Photoshop and Lightroom are being slow and they're updating, and jokes about how they always want to run updates right in the middle of everybody's busy season. So I let everything update. It took forever. Thankfully, I didn't have the same problems as a lot of people did with losing stuff once things updated. But I did find out that there is a new feature in Photoshop. I found out through a few groups that I'm in that there is a new sky swap option in Photoshop. So this is kind of awesome for a few reasons. There was never really a good way to change out a sky or add a sky when maybe your sky is blown out. There wasn't ever a good way to do that. Yes, you could do it. Yes, I've done it a million times. You had to kind of do it by hand, or some people I know sold actions that would help you kind of just break down the steps and help you do it a little easier, but there's never ever been like a one-click solution. I'm sure you've seen the advertisements for like apps that do it now, apps that will change out your sky and make everything look dynamic and super cool. So obviously Adobe needed to step up their game because people are then going to these apps that they feel maybe edit a little bit better. People want to use those instead because they make it super easy. So here's the catch though. I have not played with this at all. All I did was kind of go in and make sure like I knew where everything was. But I haven't played with this. I've looked at a few examples that people posted. It looks like it has the potential to be very cool, but I have not played with this at all. So I figured I would play with it on camera. I was not planning on making a video at all today. I figured we could do this together. We could play with these and I can kind of, you can see my reaction to see if, you know, if it's really as cool as everyone thinks it is. It's something that's brand new though, so I don't doubt that if there are little flaws that Photoshop will end up fixing those, but I'm very excited to try this. So yeah, let's dive into Photoshop. Also, another thing, if you've watched some of my videos in the past, anything to do with editing, especially the last one I just did about watermarks, you will see that I was having a problem with my screen recorder recording everything on my screen. So anything that popped up or wasn't on the screen already wouldn't record, and it was driving me crazy. I ended up finding a program to do that for me, so this is my first go ahead with that also, so I hope it works. But alright, now that that's out of the way, let's go into Photoshop. So what I wanted to make sure that I did was pick a few different images. I wanted to pick an image, so this very first one is an image that I chose that kind of had an overcast sky, so it wasn't completely whited out. I chose this one because it's a little more of an open sky, and there is a tiny bit of cloud in kind of like the top over here, but it's pretty much non-existent. This one I wanted to see how well it did. Again, not completely blown out. There's a little bit of blues up here, but I wanted to see how well it did putting the sky in and around these trees. And then this one is very blown out on the left side, but is kind of blue and cloudy on the right side, and it's a very, very bright backlit photo. And these photos are all completely unedited, straight out of the camera. I did actually have to dig around and find photos that didn't have a sky. So here in Hawaii, there's usually always a sunset. It's very rare when there's nothing going on in the sky, and I always tend to expose for the sky, so there wasn't a whole lot from Hawaii. I did have to go back to those two in the middle were from Oklahoma because there's just always skies here. It's very, very rare that I have a big bright open white sky. So let's play with that first one of my daughter. And like I said, I'm just playing on like raw files. I'll go probably end up editing them, but I do think, and this might be maybe the opposite of what everyone thinks, but when I add skies to photos, even when I would do it in Photoshop without any app, when I would do it by hand in Photoshop, I would put a sky in first and then I would go edit the photo. And the reason being is if you use presets where maybe they mess with the tones of the blues, or they add a kind of like a matte finish to anything, or a lot of clarity, putting your sky in first and then putting it back through Lightroom to add your preset, to me looks more realistic, because then your preset's over everything. It's not an edited photo and then this sky that doesn't seem to match anything. So tip for that, use Lightroom presets and editing. If you're going to do that, especially if you're a little heavy-handed editing, do that after you add the sky. So, but let's play. Let's see what we can do here. So how you find this is you go up to Edit and you go to Sky Replacement, and that's really all I did before I started this video, because I genuinely want you to see like what I think of this. That's all I had done, was just make sure I knew where it's at. So, ooh, look, see? Without me even doing anything, it chose, wow. Interesting. Okay, I am gonna go back though, hold on. I'm gonna go back because I wanna do this on a new layer. So what I wanna do, I'm gonna grab my background layer and drag it down to the little plus sign, and it makes a background copy. And I wanna do the sky on the background copy, just because in Photoshop you like to do everything in layers and you don't want to do anything directly to there. So I created my background layer, edit. All right, sky replacement. Let's see if it does. I'm thinking I love it so much. So it is a little bit, let's see what we can do in here. So here's the skies. Ooh, so you have blue skies, spectacular skies, sunsets, cool. Ooh, new skies, import skies. So it looks like you can, I do have a nice hefty collection of skies that I've collected over the years from when I would do a lot of sky swaps in Oklahoma. So that's cool. I can load my own skies in here, but right now we're just gonna play with what they have. Let's see for this. Let's do something crazy. Not crazy, but it's crazy. So I don't hate that, obviously this doesn't even match the photo. I think it can be tweaked to match the photo. Let's see. Let me do something a little more realistic. Ooh, there's a rainbow up here. How cute! I'm a little shocked how cool that is. It's literally one click. Even the crazy sky, like the outlining and everything, was very cool. How neat. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that on that one. We'll just leave the rainbow there for now. Let's move on, just because otherwise I'm gonna get like really stuck in one photo and it's gonna get crazy. Okay, let's do this one. So let's go into our, whoops, I don't know what I did there. Flatten the image. When all else fails, flatten the image. Okay, we are going to create a separate layer, and then we're gonna go edit, sky replacement. It's gonna automatically put the last one that I did in there, it seems, because we were just playing with that rainbow, which, you know, is a little bit dark for that image. So let's see what else we have. So this photo was taken at sunset. It doesn't need to be anything like, okay, see, so it does a really good job in like masking off where the sky should go. However, it's too sharp. So I'm gonna press OK, and that's gonna stay there. Oh, okay, see, so if we look down here at the bottom, it does different layers for you. So it kind of shows where it masked off. But here's our sky layer. So what I want to do is, because you would never just slap that like perfectly sharp sky on there and leave it alone. So let me filter this down and blur it a little bit. We'll do a filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Let's see here. I really don't know. I feel like I usually blur around like 3. So let's see what that looks like. It's not really, is it Oh, it is blurring. Okay, sorry, I didn't really see. But okay, you have to be a little bit delicate with it. So that's cool. And then too, I think that what will help is the fact that the sky is kind of like very dark and very vibrant, but they're also dark, so putting it back into Lightroom, running actions, lightening the photo up is going to also make that sky look more realistic. But yeah, so cool. Okay, let's move on. So far I'm impressed. Let's see how this does with the trees. I'm actually excited for this one. So duplicate my layer, edit, sky replacement. Very excited to see how this goes. So it's gonna do the one that we just did. It's thinking. Wow. It did a pretty, it doesn't match at all, but that's not what we're looking at. Did a really good job. Let's try it like a regular, it was very bright during the day, so this is more of what the sky would have looked like. It does a really good job. Let's save that one. We're gonna save that one, and we're gonna play with that a little bit, because I do think it looks a little crazy. I think we're gonna blur it again with the Gaussian blur. Not too much, because if you blur it too much, it looks the same. Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit, again, I do think this one would also be helped by then taking it to edit it. It would brighten everything up and kind of even out the tones. But that's cool. I really didn't know. If you look down here at the masking layer too, it really did. It took the trees and it masked them off. Very, very impressed, Adobe. Very cool. Okay, last one. So bright and shiny, right? Let's, okay, so we made our background layer, image, whoops, file, sorry, I lied, edit, sky replacement. It's gonna automatically put that blue one in there again, which, that's definitely what the sky looked like, and you can tell by like the edge of the frame over here, it was blue. Okay, so this one, because it's very blown out, and again, it's this type of photo that it was, and it was very, very bright and the sun was behind them. It did kind of, this white over here, it put the sky down into that blown out part, which is, you know, that's what I'm sure it's working with, is like where the white is in the photo, where like the big chunks of white are anyway, because like, you know, obviously there's no sky over her dress. Let's see here though. Let's see what we can play with. This one looks like it could be cool. Okay, see? So let's see now if we can fix that a little bit. Ooh, like you can warm it up. Ooh, you can fade the edge. Maybe that's what we need to do. Shift the edge. That's not it. Yeah, that makes, okay, so put those back where they're supposed to be. Ooh, you can flip it. Ooh, like the rainbow one, if you want the rainbow to go the other way. Let's see. I want to pick something crazy again to see what we can do with this. Let's do this one and see where we're at. Okay, obviously, cray. So, the backlit photo with the blown out areas like off the water didn't work as well as some of the other ones. I'm still impressed though. Still very impressed. I want to go back to this first one here, and I really want to add this guy to this photo so that we can like see what's up with this. Okay, so duplicate image, whoops, file. I can't be the only one that clicks on all the wrong things. So it obviously, again, it goes back to the crazy one. So that's actually, like, it definitely looks fake. It doesn't look super realistic, but again, I think that's something that if you are fluent enough in Lightroom and Photoshop that you can fix. Like, you can make the tones kind of match. It's a very pink sky, but there's no pink anywhere else in the photo. But I think that can be fixed. I think that, okay, you can warm it up all crazy, you can cool it down. Ooh. You can make it brighter. I didn't even try that yet. So as much as I like that one, and I think it could be like tweaked to perfection, I want to mess with like one of these stormy skies, because I think actually, if I remember correctly, the day we were there it was raining. Pretty much it's a bay, and it was raining on either side of the bay and even in the parking lot, but it for some reason wasn't raining right where we were. So I actually really like the way this looks. So I'm going to take this photo and put it in Lightroom, and then I'm going to show you the results, the final edit right here. Okay, so my final thoughts about this sky replacement tool in Photoshop. I think it can, if used correctly, it could be a big benefit to a lot of people. However, be careful with it. It seems to be a very powerful tool. I think that you need to, so just general rules for sky replacements, whether it's this way or an app, or if you just love doing it the old-fashioned way and you don't want to stop. Pay attention to your lighting. If you didn't shoot it at sunset, don't add a sunset. If you shot it at sunset, don't add blue skies. If the photo is super cool and chilly, don't add a bright pink sky without adding those same color tones to the photo. You have to make it match. Don't get crazy with it. Just be careful with it is really all I have to say. I think that I'm excited to see what people do with this for sure. But yeah, I think that was fun. Good job, Adobe. Stepped up their game for sure. I approve. All right, I think that's it for today's video. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. If you hit the little bell notification, you will get notified whenever I post future videos. That's all I have for today. I will see you next time. Bye.